Welcome back. It is looking like a bloodbath for Joe Biden and Democrats in the midterms, with Americans losing confidence in them fast. Liberal comedian Bill Maher trying to warn his side over what's coming.
I think they're going to get thumped in the election. I mean, that usually happens in midterm elections. But, you know, I mean, Joe, look, I'm glad he's there, but he has not exactly stuck the landing on a lot of the issues that he was dealing with. I keep saying this to the Democratic Party. The reason why you are so toxic is because you have become the party of no common sense. Should be moving toward a colorblind society where we don't see race. Wokeism, we have to see it everywhere, all the time.
So, Jesse, you and I have been doing this show for almost 20 years. Bill Maher is saying exactly what we have been saying, but it doesn't matter because he reaches people that we can't, right? His side. He's inside this bubble. So in a weird way, he's kind of doing a heroic deed. He's taking the things that we say on the Five and he's dragging it into his world and forcing them to hear our common sense.
It's like an intervention,
yes.
Right? You wouldn't have me be the one doing the intervention.
Yes, you can't.
You'd have Kennedy or, anybody but me, right?
Yes, that should be the title of your book. Anybody but me.
But this is an intervention, and it's good because the left has lost the plot. You had Martin Luther King colorblind society. That's what we were all aspiring to until the share of the white vote started to decrease, and then all of these coastal, college-educated liberals took over social media, and they figured, why don't we just unite all of the minorities in the country against traditional white working-class Americans, and if you do that, you can win the national popular vote. That just pissed everybody off. It pissed off millions of regular, normal working-class people, and then it's now starting to piss off normal Democrats. So the Democrats need to do this. What did Clinton say? It's the economy, stupid, and I feel your pain. Not, it's the climate, stupid, I'm going to cause you pain. Stick to the kitchen table issues, and that'll work.
You know, Kennedy, I'm seeing in this weird world a very positive trend where the strongest voices on the left, starting with Dave Rubin, Bill Maher, Glenn Greenwald, Matt Taibbi, they're all like understanding that there's something bad going on. And you're also seeing it on the right, where the right are actually changing their views on spying and foreign policy and drug legalization. There seems to be a switch going on, and it's very healthy.
It is healthy, especially if you look at it from a libertarian perspective, because you see, if people are embracing rationalism, they will essentially land at a place where there's limited government. Where there's limited government, there's self-rule, individual rights, and rationality above all. But when you have something, and Bill Maher was also asked about the term woke and how AOC said, we don't say that anymore. That's a stupid word. Only people over 50 say that word. And Bill Maher's like, you gave us that word.
Right.
That was your term. And so now people use it because in deference to you trying to be polite and acquiesce to your silly, naive point of view, they use terms like that, but they no longer are. So people like that have really split the party. And Jesse's absolutely right. My parents are lifelong Democrats, but they look at this party and they do not recognize it. But you also have people who are new to the party who don't want to see their taxes go away and have nothing to show for it. When Cardi B first started making money, she was driving around, realized there were a bunch of potholes. She's like, why am I paying all this money in taxes? And I was like, welcome to libertarianism.
Yes.
Cardi B
Good to have
that?
you. Yes.
You know, Geraldo,
Did you get out of the car to say it? I mean, just.
You know,
She did. And she
stick to the topic, Geraldo. Gosh. You know, it's interesting. I know that Bill Maher probably is not crazy about Fox News. I know that he probably thinks we're all right-wing hacks. But to me, I feel like he's becoming an American hero. And by trying to save his own party, he's trying to pull his party away from a cliff.
Well, I think that's very perceptive, and I agree with it. Although I am very angry at Bill Maher and continue to be because he owes me $1,000. We had a bet on the air. He said the Russia collusion narrative was true, and I said the Russia is fake. And we bet $1,000, and he never paid.
Welch.
Nor has he invited me back on the program since because I'll bust his chops on that. He is basically cancel-proof right now. One of the few people who are. He can do or say or maintain any position, and I admire the fact that he is an activist. Remember what happened to Bill Maher and how he got to be cancel-proof. He had the show, Politically Incorrect, on ABC Network a couple of weeks after 9/11 when everyone was saying, those cowards attacked us, those cowards did this. Bill Maher said, wait a second, they're not cowards. They're the ones who flew the planes and died You know, maybe the generals who launch missiles from 3,000 miles away are the cowards. So it was very shocking in that climate. He's very courageous, so I've always been a fan of
Not the
his.
best line to say after a terrorist
Not
attack.
2 weeks after the attack. But he lost his show.
Yeah.
As a result, he lost his comfortable gig, but he created the new identity here at the HBO show. He's very funny, and I hope that people listen to him. But with respect, I think that he and Grenwald and Taibbi and the people that you cite, they're the generation after the ones that we're talking about, the activists, the people who are defining what woke is, what's appropriate and what is not appropriate, and who are busting people's chops as a result of it. They're the younger.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Emily, do you think he is going to have any impact? Or are they, echoing what Geraldo says, are just going to say, oh, he's old, he's irrelevant?
I was just thinking about that those damning labels that are, you know, like searing a barbecue stamp into your forehead. There could be one that sticks for him. But wait, quick point. I think you should get your $1,000 in the next administration, because under this one, it's worth the equivalent of like 5 cents. Your dollar will go much further under the next administration. But I have to say that, you know, it rings true because it's simply common sense. To your point, Jesse, the reason that Youngkin is the governor-elect of West Virginia is because he campaigned on, quote, Virginia is he campaigned on, quote, I will listen to parents. It's the common sense. These guys are delusional on the left, to your point. They've shoved everyone into boxes thinking that it works. We're going to talk about it in a moment, about what happens in these youth groups that are eating themselves because everyone is sticking those labels on each other and just canceling. So Bill Maher, to me, he's just a normal person with common sense. But to your point in the intro, I think it doesn't matter what you say, it's who it is that says it, because you've been screaming this. We've all been screaming this since day one.
Youth groups eating themselves.
Army Hammer's like, what?